Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Women's Volleyball Postgame Press Conference. We will start the press conference with an opening statement from head coach Tyler Hildebrand, and we'll open it up to questions from the media for coach, as well as players Morgan Chacon, Callie Schwarzenbach, and Zaina Meyer.
Well, I don't want to sound like a broken record, so I'm going to try not to, but it keeps I think our team's ability to fight and stay together is very unique. It's been there for almost the entire season, and they keep showing it over and over again. And it's funny, everyone, you get these texts, and everyone's like, "Oh, you give me a heart attack." Da, 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 da. It's like you're talking to the wrong person when you say that to me, because we're in there, knowing what our team's capable of, and knowing that. We got a shot to win, but it's still nerve-wracking. So, but I'm really proud of our team. It takes a lot of courage to, usually you can win 5 sets or come back after big deficits in that a couple times, but it's hard to keep doing it. And obviously we've done it 3 times in a row now. So I'm really proud of them. They're working really hard. They're really believing in each other. This team is a lot of fun to coach. So we really care about them, and it means more when you care about them, and they're, we can play better volleyball always, but it means more when they're showing that type of heart and that type of dedication to each other, and that is not easy to do with a squad of 21 and a lot of new people. I want to say great match to Irvine. There's 5 setters going all over the Big West constantly, and I think the Big West is really well coached. This is my first experience in it, and it's really well coached. I know someone on every staff, and I think there's a brand of volleyball that's getting better and better in the Big West from what I saw back in the, 2000s and whatever. The brand of volleyball is high. So congrats to Irvine and their staff, and a really well-fought match.
All right, Coach. Obviously, once again, a 5-set match. Do you think there was a little fatigue from last week's 5-setter against Northridge and then yesterday's 5-setter against UC San Diego early on, or was that kind of appearing in the 3rd and 4th set?
I'm a little thrown off. I'm used to you in your seat up here, but I don't think so. One, I think our team is really tough. A lot of teams deal with a lot of injuries, and our team has a great performance team around them that I think helps them recover, keeps them strong. We try to be very conservative in terms of not having girls play through pain and jumping through a lot of stuff. We try to keep jumps down. So that's what I said to them. I said, hey, we're going to have to recover. 2 5-set matches in a row. We're going to have to recover this weekend. So we're going to go really, really, really light on Monday, and probably a little lighter on one of the other days next week than we normally would. Because we don't want to react to this day or that day. We want to think about it on the season. So I don't think we're fatigued. I think, if anything, we're energized. We didn't like how we played the first 2 weeks of season. We didn't like some things about what we were doing as a team. And so I think we're energized because Santa Barbara was a great win and 3 5-setters. So I think we're energized.
This one's for Morgan. 113 swings from last night to tonight. What are you thinking down the stretch of a match? Because is it just mixing up shots, or how are you finding ways to get kills?
I think I have a lot of attempts because I get set in a lot of different ways. So I think I get reminded a lot from my coaches and my teammates to just stay creative and, take it, every set is different. So just taking every set for what it is and trusting my vision and, just going for it. So that's pretty much all I'm thinking.
This one's for you as well, Morgan. In the beginning, Katie started off the match basically error-free going into the 3rd. Got her first error, but you seemed to grab the reins or had a consistent play through the entire match. What kept your level up, balance, and kept the team in it the entire time?
I think just have a great team around me. We have people my defenders who cover really well, and like that gives me a lot of confidence to swing. And Zaina does a really good job of keeping all of her hitters like involved in the match. So if I'm not successful one time, then she'll come back to me and give me the confidence to just keep swinging. So I think having my teammates supporting me in different ways keeps me like going throughout the match.
And this is a question for Callie. Obviously, you got involved in terms of the offense, but you were also effective defensively as you had 8 blocks. Like, how are you able to like square up with some of these players and time the block correctly? Because one of their hitters, despite her only being 5'8", was just blasting out from the left and right side like a cannon.
I think this week we really focused on blocking. We haven't done our best the last week, and so we really practiced being disciplined this week and focusing on little things, and I think that really helped going into the matches this week, especially this one.
This question's for Zaina. You had 52 assists, and you've been a multi-time setter of the week in the Big West this year. How much pride do you take in being kind of the key playmaker and the initiator of offense for this team?
I do take a lot of pride in it, but I get those accolades because of my teammates and my coaches, and my coaches being able to like have that trust in me to like free up and set who I want like kind of whenever has been pretty incredible, and just playing a different style of volleyball than a lot of the other NCAA because of the film that we watch. So I think I just I owe it all to my teammates and my coaches basically. Yeah.
This too is for Zaina, offensive-minded setter, 6 kills on 7 attempts, hitting .714 to lead the team. Got to give props to the setter. But more importantly, you had 2 back-to-back dumps. I believe made it 6-2, 5-2, and then 6-2. How confident were you in your hitting and offensively taking over, or not taking over, but giving that separation in the 5th set?
Yeah, I thought, I kept working, so I was like, just gonna keep going with it, because they weren't really jumping with me, which they usually do, so, and then the passers were getting on the net kind of perfectly, so I was like, all right, let me just throw it down, and it worked, so, yeah.
Zaina's had over 400 on the season, 100 dumps.
Crazy.
This one for Coach Tyler. This game, yes, you can't really focus on challenge reviews, but it was a part of the game today. What was it like having to challenge sometimes and keeping track that you are winning a lot of those challenges tonight, and it made a difference?
We were 4 for 4, but all 4 of them were completely obvious. I think we got this question a couple weeks ago or whatever. I mean, I think I don't know what the stat is, but I don't challenge a lot of calls. I listen to the team. The only time I wouldn't listen to the team is, I don't know, let's say we're up 23-13, or something, and they want to, it's just not worth it at that time to risk it, or down 21-13 or so, so. But in general, I usually ask them, and like Zaina, actually, me and Zaina had a talk today about that ball that went into the antenna, and then they called her hitting the antenna. She did hit the antenna, but it was really close which one happened first. I said, what do you think? She said, I wouldn't risk it. So we didn't take the challenge. So, but tonight those touches were huge touches. So all I was thinking tonight was I just hope that the video, the thing doesn't malfunction, or, I don't know. So, because those were all 4 pretty obvious. So, but our tracker has been good because I typically just listen to the girls and what they said. The one on Katie's, I didn't know. I didn't think that. I had no clue there was a touch, and everybody said there's a touch, so we just do it.
This one's for you, Tyler. You went up 2-0. I'm curious what you told your team in the 3rd and 4th set, because they kind of went flat, but they were able to recover in the 5th. But what was that process in getting them back on track for the 5th?
So we got 1,700 people here tonight. Let's give them a show. So let's go 5. I think I think it was a tighter match. Even though we were up 2-0, we barely won the second. It was a overtime game. It felt pretty tight. Our offense was rolling. We were hitting around 300. I don't remember what I said. They were all fired up and hooting and hollering, and that team. That team can end up setting, two players quite a bit. That's what we thought. That played out tonight, and so we want to just keep. And we weren't really. I mean, we ended up slowing them down okay, 208 and 316, but they were hitting a little higher than that through the match. So we were just trying to key in on them, and I think, we hadn't been in that position in a while, being up 2-0. The one thing that can happen is, that third set was going back and forth, some lead changes, and I think there's some plays at the end of the set that we wanted back, things that we could have controlled, and so I think that carried over a little bit into the fourth, and that's normal. But what we were saying throughout the match, at least I said in a couple of those challenges, was just like, hey, we've proven a million times, it seems like now, that we can go up, go down, and then we don't change and we respond, and then don't change and respond. And, so I'm like, it's kind of just what we do. So let's go do that in the fifth. But, those are just words. These guys are the ones that are, it's just really special how they've been able to do that. I haven't been on a lot of teams that has that ability to continue to respond together. It's not one person, it's, sometimes it's Morgan, sometimes it's Zana, sometimes Callie goes out blocking, sometimes it's Katie. So, don't get me in trouble. There's other girls too. But like Dylan having 34 digs last night.
Yeah.
You guys know that it's been since 2010 since anyone's had 30 digs at Long Beach State. So she went off last night and saved us. So. Did I forget anybody? Am I going to get in trouble? Jalen, JJ had a career high last night. So that's the point. Yeah. So I think that's really cool and special.
And then Tyler, obviously, this looked more like a defensive battle as both teams were just digging all over the place. They had the dig in them. You had 87 digs. They had 84 digs, but you also had 15 blocks to their 9. What can you say about your team's defense, and how was your defense able to keep up with that high-powered UC Irvine offense?
Defense is getting better. We've put time into it. We've made a few adjustments to try to, we've made a few adjustments, and they've done a great job, and they're working really hard at it. Except when we try to go around the cone, and then, we have to do it. We have to discuss that.
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.